Very good morning to all of you, and welcome back to my channel Anti-Net English Literature. And today, this lecture will be focused on Geoffrey Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, because in the previous lecture I have already discussed or given a brief outline about Geoffrey Chaucer's life, and I told you that I will be talking about Canterbury Tales in detail, about the characters, and I will also give various cross references of the characters. Why Canterbury Tales is important. So if when it comes to the Canterbury Tales, so I have prepared my own notes. So I'll be giving lectures through those notes only, because those are made from different reference sources. Okay, so Geoffrey Chaucer's most celebrated but unfinished work and Canterbury Tales extend up to 17,000 lines. Okay, in prose and verse for various meters. The general prologue describes the meeting of 29 pilgrimage in the Tabard Inn in Southwark. Okay, detailed pen pictures are given of 21 of them. So only we have the detailed characteristics of 21 pilgrims. Okay, and they are basically corresponding to traditional list of orders of society, clerical and lay. Okay, so basically you will see that the like in Indian society we have craftsman, we have a church, a priest. Okay, or we have the people who are craftsman, the goldsmith, the ironsmith. Okay, so in the same way in Canterbury Tales we have the demarcations of the people who comes from various backgrounds and various society. Okay, and the host of the Canterbury Tales is Harry Bailey, who proposes that the pilgrims should shorten the road by telling 4 stories each. Okay, two on one way to Canterbury Tale and two on way back. So everyone is supposed to tell 2 stories, which means that 2 stories will be told while going to the Canterbury, and 2 story will be told when they are coming back. Okay, and also only 23 pilgrims tell the story. This is a very important question which can be asked, that how many pilgrims actually tell the stories. Okay, and Chaucer only 24 story told altogether. And why we have 24 stories? Because we are also including Chaucer. Chaucer also as a pilgrim tells 2 of the stories. Okay, in the scheme, the stories are linked by narrative exchange between the pilgrims and the prologues and epilogues. So every story which is there, it has an epilogue, it has a prologue. Okay, and the manuscript and the geographical reference is conflicting. So whatever the manuscript which is associated with the Canterbury Tales, it is very much having a conflict. Okay, the order that follows is that of Ellesmere manuscript. So if the question is asked that from where does the order of the characters in Canterbury Tales is followed, so it is from Ellesmere manuscript. Okay, and it is a best complete edition of the Chaucer, the Riverside Chaucer, you can say. Okay, so the first character which we have in Canterbury Tales is the Knight's Tale. So speaking about the Knight's Tale, it is a shortened version of Tessida of Boccaccio. Okay, the story of love of Palmen and Arcadite, told again in Shakespeare's Two Noble Kinsmen. This is very important, that the first pilgrim story, the Knight's Tale, was a shortened version of Tessida of Boccaccio, and it is a story of Palmen and Arcadite which was again retold by the Shakespeare in Two Noble Kinsmen. So that's where I was talking about the cross reference. It's very much important that you are taking care of the cross reference thing. Okay, so the thing is that the prisoner of Theseus, king of Athens, for Emily, sister of Hippolyta, queen of Amazons, whose Theseus has married. The rivals compete for her in a tournament. Palamon is defeated by Arcite, the favorite of Mars, at the moment of his storm is thrown and injured by his horse through the intervention of Venus and Saturn. So it's the story about the love story about which is having an intrigue, which have lots of mechanization. Okay, and which has a Machiavellian plan, and Palmen and Amylyle, after long mourning for Archite, are united. So basically, Palmen and Archite are united. Next, we have Miller's Tale, a ribald story of deception. First, of a husband, a carpenter, through the prediction of second flood. Okay, where we have discussion about the flood, and secondly, of a lover who expects to kiss the lady's lip but kisses instead a neither yea eye. He avenges himself on her lover for this humiliation with a red hot plowshare. Okay, the table has been said to be a parody of courtly love. So this is not so important, but you can say that it was a parody of courtly love. Okay, next we have Reeves Tale. Reeves Tale is a fabuleux about two clerks who are robbed by a miller of some of the meal which they take to his mill to be ground, and who take their vengeance by sleeping with the miller's wife and daughter. So we have a Reeves Tale where the particular person, he sleeps with the miller's wife as well as the daughter. It is an obvious rejoinder to the miller's tale of duping of a carpenter. The Reeve, manager of an estate, had once been a carpenter. The same Reeve who was a manager, he was also a carpenter. Next we have the Cook's Tale of Perkin Revellor, only extend to 58 lines before it breaks off. Okay, this is another ribald fabuleux which ends with introduction of a prostitute. Okay, so you can understand the Chaucer is bringing every kind of profession into the picture. Even the prostitute is brought into the picture. The tale of gambling, not by Chaucer, is introduced for the cook in some manuscript. Next, we have The Man of Law. The tale is the story of Constance, okay, who is a daughter of Christian Emperor of Rome, okay, who marries the Sultan of Syria on condition that he become a Christian, and who is cast adrift in boat because of machination of the Sultan's jealous mother. Okay, it is frequently told medieval story paralleled by romance. Emer and John Gower's constant story in Confessio Amantis. Chaucer is based on the passage in the early 14th century Anglo-Norman chronicle by Nicholas Tribet. Now understand the fact that we have the Emperor of Rome who is having a daughter, and an ordinary man want to have an affair with the daughter of a Roman emperor. Okay, so you can understand what kind of diverse character Chaucer is bringing to us. Okay, so I can say that the diversification of the characters of Canterbury Tales or the characters of Chaucer is what makes Chaucer's work different from the other work, and that is the only reason that Chaucer is known as father of English poetry. Okay, next we have Wife of Bath. It is preceded by 856 line prologue in which the wife condemns the celibacy by describing her life with the 5 late husbands, in course of which Chaucer draws widely on the medieval anti-feminist tradition. So Wife of Bath is a very, very important character. Okay, so what I will do is that I will just delve deeper today till Wife of Bath, because Wife of Bath is itself a very important character, and we have lots of in the current contemporary feminist studies. Wife of Bath has gained lots of importance, and from the researcher point of view also, Wife of Bath is very, very important. It has been the controversial character of Chaucer. Okay, so the tale that follows is a story of loathly lady, paralleled by Gower's tale of Florent in Confessio Amantis, and by romance wedding of Sir Gawain and Dane Ranguil in Middle English verse romance, in which a knight is asked to answer the question, what do women most desire? The correct answer, sovereignty, is given to him by a hideous old witch on the condition that he marry her. When he does, she is restored to youth and beauty. Okay, so like you can understand these kind of stories we have heard a lot in Ramayana and Mahabharata, where a demon is there who is eagerly waiting for the god to reappear in some other form. Okay, and as soon as the condition is fulfilled, he is the demon is changing into a man or into a human being, or a lady who is a witch is turning into a the women. Okay, so which means that somehow at that point of time in the medieval period, Chaucer was very much aware of these kind of myths, and he has tried to incorporate those myths into the Canterbury Tales and into the characters. Okay, so today we'll be stopping this discussion here, and then further I will be talking about the other characters. And once we finish with the characters, I will be starting with the prologue to Canterbury Tales. I will be going through the prologue, and because prologue to Canterbury Tales is a key to Canterbury Tales, because if you are able to understand the prologue, which is which talks about all the characters in the Canterbury Tales, what they do, what are their professions, and what are their motives, and how they represent different sections of the society in which Chaucer was living, or the medieval English literature, okay, or English history. So that is the reason this is a very important topic, and that's the reason I'll be dealing with all the other characters. So we'll meet in the next lecture, and I'm still waiting for the students to fill the Google form link which I have shared in the last video. If you are interested in that lectures, I will be more than happy. Kindly fill the Google form, and then based on that I will be seriously starting the lectures, and I will be starting the complete batch for English Literature Foundation course. So thank you so much for your patience, and do not forget to like, subscribe, and share this particular video, so that other people should also get benefit out of it. Thank you so much.